Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel. If you've watched some of my previous videos before, you probably know I don't really like to talk about politics. And when I do, I get into rants and I can't control what I say and stuff like that. But I'm actually looking forward to speaking about politics today, specifically the 8 hottest politicians in the world. Like, well, I'm a guy, so I can only do women. Sorry, ladies, I can't list who the hottest guys are in the world. I really don't know. So, but anyway, let's get on with my list here. I don't want to drag this out too long. And then I'll show you the 8 hottest politicians in the world, and then I'll show you what America has to offer. But coming in, and now there's like plenty of lists on the internet where you can look up some of the hottest politicians in the world and they judge by who they think is the hottest. And I've come across some websites where they had Hillary Clinton as like glamorous and classy coming in at like number 9. So that kind of stuff is just basically skewed, and I don't know what they're using to make her seem like she's sexy, but oh my god, that's just ridiculous. But anyway, I went with the best uh, poll out there, which is myself, to determine who the hottest women are in the world, politician wise, and only because I'm a guy and I think my tastes are about average, and I pretty much have the same. If you put 5 guys in a room with me, one might take one over the other versus this one guy would think this girl's hot. So yeah, it's the eye and the beauty of the beholder thing type of deal. But I have a pretty good perspective on like when it comes to hot chicks and stuff like that. And you know how some guys are, they they'll think their girl's like the prettiest woman in the world, and she's like butt fuck ugly. But anyway, let's get on with my list here. It was kind of hard. I mean, I must have spent a few hours going through the internet trying to find who the hottest ones were, and like they would pop up uh, women that were like in royalty and part of like bloodlines and stuff like that. I don't consider them politicians. They weren't voted in or anything like that. So I kind of threw those out the window. But still, they probably wouldn't have made the hottest list anyway. Yeah, I mean, you are not gonna believe like some of these. You won't believe that some of these women are politicians because you have that stereotype, and you just can't see, especially if you live in the United States. Like every politician that we have is like butt ugly, and I honestly can't think of one hot chick that's a U.S. politician that I can think of off the top of my head. And even when I looked and Googled, it was kind of disappointing. There wasn't really any, So, but I'll show you the top 3 that we have in America at the end. But anyway, let's get to number 8. Number 8 is Belinda Stronach, and she is from Canada. She is a member of the Canadian Parliament and a bombshell to boot. She was a member of Parliament in the Canadian House of Commons from 2004 to 2008. She was originally elected as a Conservative. She later crossed the floor to join the Liberals from May 17, 2005 to February 6, 2006. She was the Minister of Human Resources and Skills Development and Minister responsible for Democratic Renewal in the government of Paul Martin. So, if you were just looking at the pic, you probably didn't hear a word I said. She's kind of hot. But oh my God, wait, they get hotter than that. Oh, the next one coming in at number 7 is from Israel. Her name is Orly Levy. She's a member of the Knesset for Likud Yisero Baitino. I don't know, he probably butchered that. Before going into politics, Levy worked as a model and television host. Big surprise. She also did national service in the Israeli Air Force. So, which is no surprise because all the citizens, female and male, have to serve at least 2 years in the military in Israel. So that's pretty much common for them. I wish they kind of do that in the U.S., but they don't. But she is pretty gorgeous herself, and I kind of do favor brunettes over blondes. So Let's go on to uh, number six. And believe it or not, she is from Pakistan. And it was interesting that because I actually came across a lot of women that were in politics in Pakistan, and they've been pretty favorable towards women when it comes to politics. So even more so than America. So which kind of I had a skewed view on that, but that was pretty refreshing to find out. Her name is, hopefully I pronounce this right, Hina Rabana Kar. She became the first Minister of Foreign Affairs of Pakistan in 2011. She is widely regarded as one of the highest ranking women in Pakistani politics. So, and yeah, she's a hottie. She's cute, you know. That was pretty much the only decent photo of her I could find, so I just stuck with that. I'm sure if she did like modeling gigs like some of these other women that are coming up in the list, she probably would have went up the thing. But that's all I have to go off of, so I put her at number six. Number five. This woman is from Greece, and her name is Angela Gariko. She's a Greek politician, actress, and architect born in Corfu in the Ionian Sea. And she was born on April 15th, 1959. And she actually is pretty decent. She's pretty good looking still for her age. So I guess in Greece they still have that fountain of youth genetics going on there. Because she would be what, 40, 55? She'd be going. She's over 56 years old. So, but she still looks pretty hot. So, let's go to number four, and she is from France, and I've never been good at speaking the French language, and I do not have any idea how to pronounce her name. It's Manessu FB Carfagna, who knows? I don't know. Who cares? She's hot. Uh, she has been named the most beautiful minister in the world and was ranked number one on Maxim's World's Hottest Politicians. This former Italian television actress and model entered in politics in 2004. She's a member of the Forza Italia party, and in 2008 was made the Minister of Equal Opportunity by Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi. Now the thing is, I don't think they saw all the other women that were out there that put her at number one. I mean, she is hot, and she does have some other hot picks on, but I looked at those, but then I looked at these other women, and these other women are like way hotter. They blow her like not out of the water, but they have just enough to edge her out. So let's go to number three, and that is Japan. Yuri Fukukawa, and boy, she is something else. She's arguably Japan's hottest politician of all time. She's 33, is the councilwoman for the Hashino City, and a member of the Conservative Party. She has been called too beautiful to be a politician, and that's the Japanese culture for you. Japan's Bell Counselor, and was voted world's most beautiful politician by a Spanish newspaper. She also was involved in a sex controversy, which I didn't bother looking up, and has been a topic of conversation on the internet since she was elected in April 2007. The daughter of a former council member and vice mayor of Hashino City, she worked as a caregiver at a nursing home for the elderly. After graduating from university in 2007, when she was 27, her father stood for election but failed to be voted in. That was when she announced she would stand as candidate, taking her father's place. Not only did her father's supporters vote for her, she won many of her own. Most were attracted by her youth and beauty, and the many images of herself posted on her blog. So that was more like a pageant beauty contest. She won because of her looks, and which doesn't surprise me in Japan. Let's go to number two, and that is actually the second blonde on my list, I guess. And she is from Sweden, Hannah Y. And she also happens to be the third most powerful being the most. She heads the third most powerful political party in the nation, thus ensuring they have a voice in any coalition government that forms after the September 2014 general elections in Parliament. So she is really hot. Um, she's against. If you keep up with politics and the world, what's going on, about this refugee crisis where they're sending all these Muslims into Germany and that. Well, it's happening in Sweden too. And since they started letting Muslims in the last couple of years, their crime rate has skyrocketed. It's like over tripled, and then rapes have tripled and quadrupled since Muslims started coming into their country. The Islam's those guys that practice the religion of peace, Islam. So now there's two more women on this list, and you're seeing that this lady here is number two, but I had to give it a tie. Like, this is like, these two are so close to, they're so hot. It's like, you can't go any higher. They are just really freaking hot, and you'll see here. I will go to the first one here, and as you can see, yeah, she's from Denmark, Nikita Klastrup, and she's just a young politician and who is a member of the organization supported by the Danish Party. So it's just amazing how beautiful this woman here is. I mean, that's and to be into politics on top of that, it's just in America you just don't. In Americans' minds, we just don't uh, put together beautiful women with politics because all of our women here, there's no hot chicks in politics in the United States. It's just a bunch of nasty old hags and stuff like that are in the United States. So it's kind of amazing to see all these beautiful women in the world that are into politics, but they're in other countries and that. And maybe that's because a lot of those other countries are more open to having more women in politics and that. And so I don't know what's up with America. It's just the way our culture is, I believe. So I have her as number one, but I have this next girl at number one too. So Denmark's got number one, and this was surprising. It's Serbia. Serbia has Vanja Hazovic. Oh, did I mention the last girl's last name? Nikita Klastrup. Yeah, I did. But the other one that I tied her with is Vanja Hazovic, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I mean, she's pretty darn hot too. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Like, a lot of these, like all these girls on here that I've picked could be Playboy models if they wanted to be. So, but it's nice to see that they actually took the intellectual route and went into politics instead. So those are the world's top eight hottest politicians in the world right now. Um, Now let's see what we have in America. And where's that folder at? I listed it under ugly. Yeah, here we go. Michelle Obama. She's like in the top 6 billion. And here we go. Uh, oh my God. It's not even worth mentioning their names. Hillary Clinton, she's like in the top 6 billion. And then this nut job here, the one that didn't even know Africa was a continent. Gosh, I can't even think of her name because I don't ever pay attention to anything she says because she's just dumb. She's dumb as a rock. But anyway, that's what we have to offer in America, and that's unfortunate because the rest of the world basically is kicking our ass and hot politicians. So America is not number one in everything, just so you guys know. Well, we haven't been number one in a lot of stuff for a while, so. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was nice to get away from talking about serious politics for a bit, and it was nice to explore the sexy side of politics. So, please subscribe to my channel. I hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys later. All right, take care.